Cross-examination.
Morning.
Good morning.
So you said you weren't aware of Donna Adelson's involvement.
She was not involved with me.
Okay.
So no.
Did you know that she was drafting Wendy's filings and having Wendy copy and paste them to send to you?
She couldn't have drafted any of the filings because I drafted the filings.
What she would like to be put in the filings, how about that?
I'm not aware of any of that, no.
Okay. Do you know that she was drafting things for Wendy to put in her filings in Wendy's voice?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Did Wendy, though, give you input on things maybe to put in filings or things that she would like said on her behalf?
Not a lot. I talked to Wendy on a pretty regular basis when I was filing something on the phone or by email. And she was a very good client, in all honesty, where she listened to me and she basically, we have clients that don't. Now we have clients that give you ChatGPT and want you to do ChatGPT pleadings, so there's that. She wasn't that client. She would say something like, well, and my pleadings were very short. My pleadings were very, very short. They were to the point and like, no, dismiss this, that's not true. There wasn't a lot more going on in most of them.
So you wouldn't have knowledge of Wendy sending pleadings to her mom and saying, let's edit this?
No, because I wouldn't have edited it based on that anyway.
Okay.
Maybe they did, but I didn't do it.
All right.
And I never heard about it.
Okay. So this would have been between Donna and Wendy?
If that happened, yeah.
You mentioned that, of course, she had a shot with relocation, but given the situation in this case being that the kids were raised in Tallahassee, the parents' jobs with FSU, you were not personally surprised when the relocation was denied.
I'm never surprised when a relocation is denied.
Because it's hard to prove detriment at that time.
I'm always hopeful, but
right.
And I thought she had a good shot or I wouldn't have let her do it. I'm not going to file a frivolous motion, and I thought she had a good shot for a number of reasons.
Regardless, though, of what you think, do you ever have clients or family members of clients who have unrealistic expectations of what the courts will allow or what you can do for them?
Yes.
Okay, even given your best guidance?
Yes.
Okay. That's not an uncommon thing.
No, that's why parents are often involved in these cases and come to talk to me about what they think I should be doing. Yes, I get that a lot.
Right, and at that relocation hearing were Donna and Harvey Adelson possible witnesses?
I've been trying to think about that. I think that that's probably why I had them sit outside, is because they could potentially be witnesses in invoking the rule. However, I think we had come to either the close of our case.
But you wouldn't know that until you were done calling witnesses.
Correct. So that's right. Yeah.
Okay. So that's why they were in the hallway.
That's why they were in the hallway. Yeah.
Okay. Not because they didn't care or they weren't involved.
Oh no, they were very nice. I met them. They were there when I got there in the morning. They introduced themselves. They were very nice. We did our thing. I came back and told them afterwards. Nobody yelled or screamed or cried or did any carrying on, which sometimes happens. So no, it was all very appropriate.
Okay. Do you sometimes have clients or family members of clients who take the news harder than you do when they lose something in court?
Well, I don't like to lose either. So there's that. I don't like it. That's why I don't like to go to court if I think I'm going to lose. That's why I want to settle things. But sometimes they take it really hard, especially family if they're not there. They do.
Okay. And you said Wendy was upset when she was denied the relocation, but she was calm. Oh, let me also ask you this. Wendi Adelson stipulated to the denial of the relocation after you found out behind the scenes from the judge that it was going to be denied.
Correct.
Okay. And she was upset about it, but calm.
Yes.
She's not screaming.
No.
No, okay.
And I have people do that. I've had to have my own clients taken by the bailiff out.
I'm sure you've seen it all. And how did Donna Adelson feel about not winning the relocation?
I don't know how she felt. I can only tell you that I came out, I talked to Wendy. And then briefly, as far as I remember, because I mean it was 13 years ago, I think I talked to all of them and kind of told them what happened and what was going on. And, you know, I didn't agree with the judge, but this is the judge, and they get to make the decisions. And I think that Wendi went and talked to her parents without me, and then came back and said, "Okay, we're good. We can go into court and we can stipulate."
Okay.
Which is what I had suggested.
So if there are emails of Donna Adelson being upset about and very disappointed and about it being denied, or unhappy with your representation for some reason, that's not something she's telling you to your face?
No.
Okay. You talked about Dan Markel not paying what he was supposed to pay according to the settlement agreement. In Dan Markel's court filings, did he give, and I know you don't agree with those reasons, but did he give his reasons for not paying?
He gave his reasons.
Okay.
Yes.
And that included the fact of that he was accusing Wendi of noncompliance.
That's true.
Okay. Eventually, did you seek to have Dan Markel held in contempt of court?
I did. It was part of my motion, was to have him held in contempt of court and enforced it. That's not the kind of contempt where I can throw him in jail.
Yeah, what does that mean, contempt of court? Can you explain that?
So in a child support hearing or an alimony support hearing, if someone doesn't pay their child support or their alimony, we can have someone held in contempt of court and put in jail if we can prove they had the ability to pay, but they're just not paying, and then the court can put them in jail until they pay the amount they're supposed to pay, okay, because they have it. If it's a property issue, we can't really have them held in contempt of court because it's a property issue, and that was part of why Dan's pleadings didn't make a lot of sense, because he was mixing up property and child issues, and you can't do that. It's strictly property or it's kid issues. In a property issue, it would be a multi-step thing to have him held in contempt of court. He would basically, the judge would have to find that he was not paying, he's willfully not paying, and then.
Could I ask you a different question?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
But even in a property situation, the court could put him in jail ultimately, but it would be multiple steps I would have to go through. It wouldn't be just one step. And it would be difficult.
What ultimately is the consequence of that, is my question.
So ultimately, the ultimate consequence is we would probably get a final judgment against him for the amount that was owed.
Like a lien.
And a lien against, and we would get a lien against the house, and we would, and I have to do this often, I would send them to a debt collector attorney who would then have to file another suit to be able to collect that money, and then they would probably be able to go into his assets and get the assets. So it's a multiple stage process, which is why I just wanted him to pay the money and not make me do this.
So if it was successful, probably a lien, worst case scenario, he could go to jail. And then him being an attorney, though, could he lose his bar license, possibly? If he's held in contempt of court? Or at least be in trouble with the bar?
He could. I've had lawyers held in contempt of court over these issues before. I haven't had one lose their license yet.
Okay.
But they could. It is a possibility.
Did you inform Wendi Adelson that you were seeking to have him held in contempt?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I probably did. Because it's kind of a generalized form. It's a motion for contempt and enforcement.
Okay. And then at some point, did he allege that Wendi Adelson should be held in contempt?
I don't know if contempt, I can't remember if he actually said she should be held in contempt legally the way that I was using it. I think his pleadings were much more, Wendi should be disbarred.
Okay.
I mean, that's what he specifically said.
Right.
That she was committing fraud and she should be disbarred.
Would you describe this divorce as contentious?
I wouldn't describe the divorce as particularly contentious at all compared to most of the divorces I had. I mean, we settled it. I don't settle a lot of my cases where we actually go to week-long trials over things of that nature. I think it was like any divorce where there were ups and downs of moments where it was contentious and not fun, but for the most part, we kind of settled it. We settled it after mediation, and it wasn't a problem. I do think that this whole issue of the enforcement got a little contentious. I really didn't understand it because he paid the first $50,000 fine, and then all of a sudden he decided not to pay the rest, and I didn't really get it and know why he was doing that, because the parenting stuff didn't come up for like several months afterwards. So none of what he was doing made sense. I think he just got upset with Wendi or something. I don't know what it was.
Okay, thank you for that information. It wasn't contentious, but you did say that his motions were very personal. His pleadings were very personal.
That's where I think it became contentious, is
And
when he did that.
was that personal attacks on both Wendi Adelson and you?
Correct.
And he was alleging that Wendi Adelson committed fraud, right?
Yes.
He's alleging you committed
I
fraud.
did.
It got so bad that you had to get off the case so that you could be a witness on Wendi Adelson's behalf, right?
Correct. That's happened before, though. I mean, I've had that happen before.
And he alleged Wendi should be disbarred, you said.
Correct.
And he's having issues with Wendy's mom, Donna Adelson, even being able to watch the kids, is what you said in one pleading.
One of the pleadings said something about the right of first refusal that he had, and she shouldn't be allowed to have the kids unsupervised, I think, during right of first refusal, because she was saying things about him to the kids, he thought.
And did the litigation between Dan Markel and Wendi Adelson continue even after you got off the case?
Once I got off the case, it was the end of June, and I think that he was gone within a few weeks after that.
So you were supposed to be a witness on Wendi Adelson's behalf, right?
Correct.
Were you ever able to have that hearing?
No,
Why not?
because I got a call from Jimmy Jenkins when I was in Tampa at something that he was dead. It was pretty shocking.
Does that happen very often in your divorces?
That does not. We've had a few people get murdered, and I've had a few suicides.
Okay.
But it's rare, and I remember all of them.
Right, but not contentious.
Sometimes, I don't know with the suicides, I don't know.
That's all.
Thank you.
Redirect examination.
Briefly, Your Honor.
You may.
Ms. Adamson, I'm going to approach and show you some, I'm sorry. Ms. Adamson. States demonstrative A, I think it's Court Exhibit 1, page 441 of the demonstrative. And then I'm holding 454. If you hold that,
Sure.
please.
Okay.
Is that the March 26, 2014 pleading that Mr. Markel filed?
It appears to be.
Can you turn to 454 that I had tabbed?
Yes.
Is that the prayer for relief for that motion?
Yes.
Can you direct your attention to the portion that reflects my client's, Donna Adelson's, time with the children? Does that reflect that Mr. Markel was asking that my client's unsupervised time with the children not interfere with his right of first refusal?
I think you're talking about paragraph 6, where it says, enjoin the former wife from allowing the maternal grandmother to have unsupervised time with the children consistent with the right of first refusal. That was that right of first refusal.
Yes.
And to impose appropriate limitations to safeguard the children from being subjected to disparaging comments about their father.
Ms. Adamson, you testified that the divorce was not contentious, but some of his pleadings post-divorce were contentious.
I think that's accurate.
Okay. And that his pleadings were personal. He essentially he attacked both Wendi Adelson and yourself.
Correct.
Okay. Is that what caused you to withdraw?
I'm very used to personal attacks. I've had a lot of personal attacks. The only reason, and I'm fine with that, the only reason that I withdrew is because I was going to be a witness, not because I cared what he said about me.
Had Mr. Markel not included in his pleadings these attacks, would that hearing have gone forward in May of 2014?
If he had not included personal attacks against me that I would have had to testify about, then I would have continued with the hearing.
Now, I want to go back to relocation. After the relocation hearing, my client, Donna Adelson, appeared to accept the court's ruling. To you.
As far as I know,
You don't know what she said privately, do you?
I do not.
Concerning Wendi Adelson's involvement in drafting of pleadings, I understood your testimony on cross to be that you'll take input from clients, but ultimately you're the one who is drafting the pleadings.
I take responsibility for my pleadings, and I've never filed a pleading based upon what a client told me I have to do. I will take input because I don't know all the facts. Sometimes I need more facts from them so that I can do it, but I'm ultimately responsible. My name's on those pleadings.
And so you're not going to cut and paste from what a client sends you.
Well, sometimes if they send me really good facts, I'll sort of go, oh, these are good facts, and then I'll take the facts and I'll put them in, but not legal arguments or anything like that, no.
So if you took facts that were provided to you by Wendi Adelson and put those in the factual statements or arguments concerning pleadings or memoranda, the law is still your own writing.
The law is, and I don't really think Wendi, I don't remember that Wendi had much input into any of it, honestly. She wasn't that client. I have clients that are those clients, and she was not that client. I get a lot of ChatGPT now, a lot, telling me what I should be filing.
I don't think you're the only one there, ma'am. Had you not withdrawn to be a witness, the motion would have been heard in May of 2014.
May or June, whenever it was set. I don't remember exactly when it was set.
Okay,
Whatever the docket says for whenever it was set, yeah.
So if the docket reflects, I think it was May 15th of 2014, the hearing would have gone forward.
Correct.
The judge would have been able to make a decision on all the pending issues.
I believe that's the case.
Nothing further?
Will this witness be recalled?
Just a moment. We'll retain her, but she's free to go about her business.
Thank you.
You may step down.